think this can happen to you, think again.
Prescription drug abuse is on the rise, and it's not the usual suspects.
How does a housewife get hooked on painkillers?
I was taking 20 to 25 a day.
So crippling.
We didn't know what we were getting into, you know. We thought that we'd try it once, get high.
You get hooked that fast?
From the heartbreak to the healing.
If you ever need support from me, call me. Anything you need, I'll be there for.
Prescription addiction, a painful epidemic.
That's right here, right now. I'm telling you, if you have prescription drugs in your home, make sure that they're locked away so no one, including you, can abuse them. Every single day, people are becoming addicted to painkillers in epidemic proportions. Sampling the Oxycontin in a friend's dad's medicine chest led Ryan on a downward spiral that nearly destroyed his life. And this is Ryan's dad, Chuck. I want to thank you guys for being here. How did it start?
It all started about 2 years ago.
Okay.
I mean, my friend's dad got back surgery, and he ended up getting some pain medicine for it, some Oxycontin. And, I mean, we didn't know what we were getting into, you know. We thought that we'd try it once, get high, started doing it. After a few times of doing it, I mean, you pretty much get stuck to it, you know.
Got hooked that fast?
That fast. I mean, it's like you crush it up and snort it, and it's just like it's courage, you know. It's like you can go out and take on the world. I explained to my girlfriend one time that it's like sitting in the hot tub with the jacuzzis on, you know. It's like you feel like a total different person when you're on the drug than when you're not.
You're totally cool, everything's all right.
Yeah, everything, you don't have a problem in the world. When you don't have the drug, though, you have every problem in the world.
How did you get the money?
Well, I'd do anything I could, you know. I'd pawn things, I'd go to the pawn shops, I ended up stealing checks from my dad. I stole thousands of dollars from him, and I'd get the checks and write them into myself and just go cash them in the banks. And I mean, when you're under the spell of the drug, you'll do anything to get it.
Was your lowest point where you said, I got to get help? Or what was it?
Well, my lowest point was about 3 weeks ago, and I was living in a hotel. I'd been kicked out of my house.
Tough love, right, Dad? You just couldn't take it?
We didn't want to do it, but we really thought it was the best thing for him. We had tried most everything else, and so we were at our wits' end, and we thought, you know, if we're ever going to make this work, it really has to be Ryan that has to make this change, and we can lead him to the water, but he has to drink, so to speak. And so that was really the last straw. We didn't love him any less. We paid for the hotel, but we said, you know, we have other children in our household. You can't be around our family and be using.
So you're out.
Yeah.
So what happened to you at that lowest point?
Well, during that lowest point, it wasn't just that I was kicked out of my house. It was I met this kid from Texas, and I'd only known him for about 2 days. And he'd not done the drug too much in his life. And I mean, I'd been doing it to where I'd been shooting it up about 6 times a day. And he comes up to my house.
Shooting up Oxycontin?
Yeah.
Cooking it?
Cooking
shooting
it, putting
up.
it in, and then shooting it up. And he comes
Never
over.
thought about AIDS?
Never thought of that stuff.
Okay, so he comes over.
He comes over, and I, not think that he can do a certain amount, that because I've done it for so long, I've got a tolerance to it, and it makes me normal, not high anymore. So he gets it and sticks it in his arm, and he starts walking around, and he's just kind of dazing around like this, you know. All of a sudden, he grabs both sides of the bathroom door and just falls back on his back, lifeless. He wasn't breathing, he didn't have a heart rate or anything. I just start panicking, and I was so high that I didn't know what to do. So I go over and I start giving him somewhat of a CPR attempt, you know, because I don't know CPR, I'm just, you know, I haven't ever been taught that. And so I thought to myself that I had to call 911, or it's worth going to jail to save a life. So I called 911. They helped me give him CPR, and they ended up saving his life. But after that, I mean, to see someone almost lose their life right in front of me like that, I knew it was time to change.
Chuck, let me ask you, the lowest point for you?
Oh, there were a lot of them, but probably the lowest point was after we found out he had been using, which he hid from us very well, like Andy. We didn't know for months and months, but when we finally found out, it was last Christmas, and I heard a Christmas carol that we used to hear, and you know, our family enjoyed. It was a great, you know, thing that we enjoyed in our household, and that Christmas carol just broke me down, and I just cried. I just wept, thinking I'd lost my son, and it seemed really hopeless at that point. But you know, somehow you endure, and you get through one day and then another day, and finally, I think when his friend nearly died was with the impetus to make him really want to change for him, not for us, not for his friends, not to go back to school, but for him. And that was the difference. And so my wife and he spent hours on the internet, and probably about 4 in the morning, they found the Waismann Institute on the internet, and phone calls to them. And
they're pretty renowned for dealing
well,
with prescription drugs and
they have a unique program, and
right.
I won't go into all the details, but it has worked so far for us, and I've been very impressed with it. And Ryan has been clean now for 10 days.
Anything you want to say to this guy? He loves you. You got a loving family.
Yeah, I can't believe I put him through so much. I'm just sorry, Dad. I just want to give you a hug.
I got a feeling you're going to make it because you've got that desire. But, you know, I'm really worried about Andy. You have been to the same places, the same hell he has been. What do you want to say to him?
Well, Andy, I know what you're feeling like right now, man. That was me 10 days ago. Withdrawing, your hot and cold flashes, you're feeling like you're going to throw up. It's not good, man. If I could say one thing, heart to heart to you, it's got to be you got to change for yourself. All the years that I did it, I'd say, you know, I'll do it for my dad, I'll trick him, try and do it like that, you know. Do it for yourself, man. You can beat it. I know you can. I know you can beat this.
Thanks.
You're going to beat it. You're on that road to recovery.